It's that time when we let you in on the electricity issues through your favorite program, Power Wheel, a production of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. We hope to spice your week up with the top stories from the power sector. But first, here are the headlines. TCN management pays courtesy call on Senate President Ahmed Lawan. Newly inaugurated electricity unions executives pledge support to TCN's management. NEMSA bans direct power supply from 33 kV feeder lines over safety reasons. Plus, an interview session with the principal manager, Engineer Nasir Monso, father of the Kenji Work Center of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, at Fakum Kenji in Niger State. He speaks of the operational activities of the work center, which is under the Kenji Transmission region. The details will come your way shortly. I am Chinwenwa Anyao. The management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, led by the Managing Director, CEO, Mr. Usman Gur Mohammed, recently paid a courtesy call on the Senate President, Mr. Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, to intimate the Senate leadership on the role the company plays as building bricks in the power sector.
Explaining the role of TCN to the Senate President at the National Assembly complex in Abuja, the TCN MD, Mr. Mohammed, said,
So the brick and the beams is actually TCN in the electricity industry, because it's the backbone that keep everybody together, because the distribution companies are connected to the grid, and also the generation companies are connected to the grid. So TCN dispatches the generators based on the requirement of the distributors. So we know the condition of the distributors to take load, and we know the condition of the generators to dispatch load. So that is why when you're talking about TCN, you're actually talking about the entire grid.
He said TCN had worked closely with the 8th Senate and further assured that it will work much more closely with the leadership of the 9th Senate.
We believe that we're going to work the same way. The reason why we decided to come and present to the leadership of the Senate, because we believe that power is the most important ingredient that is militating our development. And we believe that even before the committees are formed, there's need for us to interact with the leadership of the Senate so that you will understand the problems and all the problems that we have on the power sector. And we believe that when you get it from us, you get the right information. That's why we are here.
Mr. Mohammed also made a presentation as he explained the achievement of TCN.
So we've decided to collaborate with state government. And I can give you an example. A 40 MVA was installed in Suka. And for 6 years, the federal government has been trying to get the right of way to supply Suka, and it was not possible. When we went and met the governor of Enugu and we entered into agreement with the governor of Enugu, sir, we completed that project in 2 months.
Responding, the Senate President lauded the choice of Mr. Usman Gur Mohammed as the MD, CEO of TCN, saying he was brought in from the international scene to make impacts in the power sector.
Power is, at the moment, probably the most important challenge in national development in Nigeria. Of course, the security situation is not helpful too, but we all believe that this is one sector that we have to fix if we have to succeed in making Nigeria better. We have to provide employment opportunities, and the way of power is the easiest way to go, because even the most smallest, let me say the smallest cottage industry could spring up anywhere once there is power, and everybody could have something to do. And that will reduce the unemployment, create jobs, and of course the insecurity will also go down drastically. So we believe that it's something that we will work hard on.
He said the Senate considers the sector as a priority in their legislative agenda and that it must be pursued vigorously. The Senate President was hopeful the Nigerian power sector will improve to the level of Egypt, where they now have excess power supply. On what government should do with the 40% shares it has in the distribution companies, Discos, he said,
if there is anything we need to do is to identify those investors, foreign investors, who have the funds, those resources, and who have the technical know-how the discourse we have issues. I agree with you completely. We have to recapitalize the discourse, but the discourse are constrained by this environment. They go to our commercial banks here, they take the facilities at 25, maybe by the time you add some administrative charges, maybe 30%. I know one discourse that is struggling to pay billions of dollars in naira in servicing the loan they took some years back. So I don't think we can rely on the discourse or even the funds from within the country. It's not going to be easy. So we should be looking at the possibility of selling this 40%.
Senator Lowell pledged support in ensuring that there will be certain legislative actions and interactions with stakeholders in the power sector that would improve the sector.
We really need to do a lot of this kind of interaction. It's enlightening, and we are able to understand, those of us who are in the National Assembly and the Parliament are able to understand the issues, and then it makes us better placed and positioned to engage and also come up with the kind of legislative support, whether it is in terms of legislation or funding where it is necessary. But I must congratulate you for attracting a lot of funds into the TCN. I'm sure it's because of what you have been able to achieve as a team. You have been able to work together. I know the kind of challenges you have gone through, a lot of demonstrations, people who just engineer. I know your experience with contractor and Damatru, who in fact collaborated or connived with police and the rest of it. But that should be expected. There are people who wouldn't like things to change for us in this country. So congratulations for this presentation.
The Deputy Senate President, Mr. Ovie Omo-Agege, lauded the TCN management for the presentation, saying,
"This is one of the best presentations I've ever listened to. Frankly, I didn't even know we had people with this kind of capacity, in our system. So I congratulate you for the job you've done so far. Listening to you, I am confident that solving this power quagmire is just a matter of time, provided we have you there, have people like you, not just you, in the system."
Other senators during the courtesy visit called for collective action and teamwork among the power value chain operators towards liberating the power sector so that Nigeria can begin to enjoy improved electricity supply.
That is it. We believe that with collective action and full legislative backing, the Nigerian power sector is heading for the next level of improvement. And talking about supporting critical players towards power sector development, the newly inaugurated executives of the National Union of Electricity Employees, NUE, at the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN headquarters chapter in Abuja, have pledged their support to work with TCN's management team.
The new NUE executives, led by the chapter chairman, Comrade Chris Ada, paid a courtesy visit to formally present themselves to the managing director, CEO of TCN, Mr. Usman Gold Mohammed, and his management team. Comrade Ada sought prompt action of the management towards any arising issue concerning the staff.
Please, when we have an issue concerning our members, if we come to you, please attend to us, so that we'll go back to our members and assure them of whatever we discuss with you. So please, we need your cooperation too. But we are assuring you that we are giving you the maximum cooperation. There will be no problem. We are here for peace. The kind of the crop of you are seeing now are not people who are out for trouble. We are out for peace. We will cooperate with the management.
Addressing the NUE team, the managing director, CEO, Mr. Usman Gold Mohammed, lauded NUE executives for being elected on merit. He urged them to strive on the existing partnership the TCN management has with NUE to promote development.
Management was completely neutral. We didn't take a position at all in what you did, because we believe that it's only when we have a level playing field that the right people will be elected. So you are all elected on merit, and you are elected to represent staff. So our relationship is a partnership. And I also want to tell you that I sent my team to monitor the election across the regions all over the country, and everything went peaceful. This is a demonstration of how Comrade Joe Ajero was able to manage the union very well. So we want to commend him for his leadership and providing the kind of environment where NUI and TCN is working together as partners.
Mr. Mohammed said the management has taken staff welfare as a priority, which has ensured the seamless cooperation between the management and the union.
I think this is what we'll continue to do. We'll continue to work together like that to ensure that we advance the welfare of staff. We have been able to achieve significant level of progress simply because staff are with us. And the staff are with us because you are also with us. That is the reason why staff are with us. Therefore, we'll continue to advance what will lead to a good industrial harmony between us and you.
The head transmission services provider, TSP, Engineer Victor Adewumi, said most times the staff, the union and TCN management are focused on achieving the same target, which is the progress in the transmission system and the welfare of staff.
I just want to remind us that, the era of SOB, unionism is gone. Nobody wants to start locking doors, start shouting anymore. I think what unionism of modern day is all about is a collective bargaining. And I want your new team, to work in that regard. Like I've said, most of the time, we're after the same thing. It's only that most of the time, method might be different. And even in most cases, from my own experience, what you are fighting for and what management want to even offer is in most cases even better. So if we maintain peace and be patient, at the end of the day, we are going to achieve the same result. So once again, on behalf of the entire management team, I want to congratulate you and I wish you a very peaceful tenure.
Equally, the Executive Director, Human Resource and Capacity Building, Mr. Justin Ishaya Dodo, tasked the new executive of NUER to inject new ideas into the system, noting that the management has an open door policy.
I would implore those of you who are just coming in, the reason why you are coming in is because you probably have new ideas. So I believe you are going to inject new ideas into unionism. Your approach should be new. It should not be the old way of doing things. If the old way did not produce the needed results, I believe this is an opportunity to change the approach so that both management and the unions can be seen as what? As a team. We are a team. All that we have been emphasizing here is that we should work as a team. That's my advice for you.
Also, in his remarks, the market operator MO, Engineer Edmond Eje, exalted the union leadership on embracing innovation and research to drive its operation.
You can have people who do little research in terms of approaches on issues. There are better ways of approaching issues apart from we no go gree or we no go gree, So there are scientific ways of doing things. At the end of the day, it's all about dialogue. I appeal to you that since everything will end in dialogue, let us start from the onset to engage in dialogue.
Unionism is about welfare of staff. This is what the management of TCN hopes to support so that it can be realized to the fullest. We wish the NUI TCN chapter team a successful tenure. Let's take a break for a message. Please stay tuned.
Verify that land before you buy it. To drastically reduce the incidence of building under the transmission right-of-way or encroaching on designated TCN land, members of the public are hereby requested to verify land near or along transmission line route before purchasing it. Verification should be made in the Land Development Authority or at the TCN office. This would help in drastically reducing the incidence of building under transmission line right-of-way and save us all the problem of pulling down the structure or truncating transmission line expansion projects in your community due to court injunction. Help us serve you better. Verify that land before you buy it.
In taking preventive measures to forestall electrical accidents in the Nigerian electricity supply industry, NESI, the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, NEMSA, says it has banned the direct connection of electricity consumers to 33 kilovolts primary feeder lines across the distribution networks.
Speaking at a recent press conference in Abuja, the Managing Director, CEO of NEMSA and Chief Electrical Inspector of the Federation, Engineer Peter Eweso, said the agency enforces technical regulations, inspection, testing and certification of all electrical installation and meters. He said,
if the line, primary feeder line that is carrying power to an injection substation is 20 megawatts, and then we allow so many point load, 500, about 20, 30, or in fact sometimes could go as high as 70. What happens is that power will not get to 33, 11 kV injection substation. That means we who are fed on 11 to 415 will no longer have power because all the power has been fully utilized, and it creates acrimony, apathy between us. If, for example, maybe you have a factory or an office, it's on 33, 415, and you see light there. Then other people who are living there on 11, 415, what happened? They are in darkness. Then there's acrimony. That's why is it having light? I don't have light. But it's because the purpose and the essence for which the 33 kV lines, primary feeder line, have been designed and built have been defeated. Apart from that too, they cause a lot of hazard on the system. Anywhere you tie, if you have 10, 15, 20, 30 locations where you have tied the point load, you have created that number of fault locations within that particular system.
Urging the distribution companies, DISCOs, to take action on stopping such unsafe connections of electricity consumers. Eweso said,
that decision was taken to say, please stop using this and invest in your own network, especially the downstream, so that you free the upper stream of all the challenges that are associated with it.
He further warned electricity users of untested meters, which he said do not carry NEMSA seal on them as a mark of certification. Eweso noted that with the regime of meter asset providers, MAP, more meters will be installed for electricity consumers, but that uncertified meters may not be completely functional and must be avoided.
NEMSA is fully responsible for testing meters before they are deployed. It's mandatory, and there is no meter, not one single meter, is exempted from being tested before they are deployed. And we want general public to know that the only way you can know a meter that has been properly tested and certified by NEMSA is with the seal. If you do not see NEMSA seal, is a metallic plastic, either green or brown, with NEMSA's inscription on it. It's not something that you can clean. It's tied to the meter. If you don't see, definitely know that basically such a meter has not been tested by NEMSA, so its accuracy, the type and the quality cannot actually be guaranteed.
Safety, they say, is paramount across sectors, a word they say is enough for the wise. As NEMSA says, report poor networks, connections and electrical accidents to appropriate authorities for onward action. As part of our efforts to keep you informed and bring you up to speed in the power sector, Powerwheel this week beams its spotlight on the KNG Work Center at the KNG Transmission Region of Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, in Niger State. Overseeing activities at the center is the principal manager, Engineer Nasir Mansour Fada, who has been doing that for 3 years. He speaks with us in this interview at the Fakum Transmission Substation in Kainji. How old is this Kainji Works Center?
The work center here was created sometimes in 2007, and we covered Kwantagora substation, the old switchyard there adjacent to the fire station, then here Pakun 330 by 132 and Dogongari 132 by 33. That's the substation. But lines, we are in charge of Kanji Java line 1 and 2, Kanji Birnin Kebi 330 kV line, Pakun Dogongari 132 kV double cycle line, Tegina Kwantagora 132 kV single cycle line, then Kwantagora Yawuri 132 kV single cycle line that was just commissioned sometimes last early this year around January.
What projects are the Work Center planning for at the moment?
We are captured under the Northern Corridor transmission expansion. So under the Northern Corridor, we have double cycle line that will be leaving Kanji to somewhere in Birnin Kebi. Then from that double cycle will continue to Sokoto, and it will be the longest 330 kV double cycle line, around 444 kilometers. Then I also know that we were captured by NETAP, National Electricity Transmission Expansion Project, under which that our old switchyard opposite power station will be upgraded.
Has this center recorded any challenge of vandalism in recent past?
Here we are a bit safe here, Gaskia, because I don't think we have any issue of vandalism here.
How robust is your interface with the other critical sector players in this region?
Even if you confirm from mainstream, they always insist that we maintain very good relationship with them. You understand? Because we try to understand that, they are a private sector. And we know that the way they work, you understand, we have to synchronize ourselves with them. The major challenge we are having is load rejection. When distribution reject load, when you have excess power in the system, the voltage tends to rise. And the rise in voltage is very dangerous to our substation equipment. We wrote to regional office complaining to them, and I think they wrote to the headquarters of the distribution company concerned, that sometimes, like in Kwantagora to be specific, in Kwantagora we have only 133 kV feeder. That's Kwantagora Township. And the moment they want to unload shading, the voltage will raise up to 150. And it's dangerous because those equipment are anything 132 should not be exposed to more than 145 kV, but up to 150. So what I told them that once we experience that one, we isolate our station.
What is your advice to TCN staff in this center and region?
My only message to them is, we have to be up and doing. You understand? We have to be up and doing in the sense that generation are coming in. So we should be able to deliver the power, even though the challenges on distribution. But let's put ourselves in order. Let's get prepared. Even if the distribution are ready to pick the load, let's make sure that we are prepared. Our equipment are well maintained, and the management also will help us to make sure that all what we require to get the job done is provided. You understand? Like all the equipment we require and other substation facilities.
That is it on our interview segment. We believe it was informative. We promise to bring you another perspective in the next edition. We're not done on the program. More reports in the Power Flash segment. Please don't go away. We appreciate you for always being there with us on this program. Join us next week on the same station for another edition of Power Wheel. This episode and the previous ones are available on our YouTube channel. You can also connect with us on these other platforms showing on your screen. I am Chinwenwa Anyao. Let's do this again next week, shall we? See you soon.